Hi, this is Paul with Promisec, and in this short instructional video, we'll be walking through the Promisec Endpoint Manager solution, or PEM. Let's go ahead and begin. Here, we're seeing the results of the Promisec Endpoint Manager, a CIO dashboard or CISO dashboard that gives all the available information that the PEM product gathers and can be delivered. Here we can see compliance and, more importantly, non-compliance in a specific region. We can drill down from there and look at what events have caused the non-compliance. Here we can see antivirus is not installed. We can see that a encryption agent is not installed. We can even take a look and see that antivirus is not running, and we can see if it's outdated. Because we can do trending and tracking, because Promisec captures and stores the historical information. This way you can gauge over time, are you getting better in your compliancy? We also support making sure that hot fixes and KBs and patches are being distributed correctly. This gives you the visibility that your patching is either not working correctly, and Promisec can help you get the visibility to show you that we can patch very quickly and efficiently when patches are missing. Let's take a look on how we gather this information. Here we're looking at specifically the Promisec Endpoint Manager. Promisec is an endpoint tool that does not require an agent to run. Here we can see we have sentries deployed all across the world. Sentry supports configurations and they run autonomously. They can target different endpoints for different information at different times. Let's take a look at one of the configurations. Here we're going to bring open the Cyber FIM configuration that Promisec has offered to its customers. Here you can see we can go out and gather the SHA-1, the SHA-256, or the MD5 hash from critical Windows EXEs, DLLs, and then we can automatically do a specific file, as we can see defined here, that you can bring in from a threat feed. Or you can automate this, where if your threat feed is placing a file on the desktop or it can place it on the PEM solution, we can actually have it pick up the contents of the file prior to the inspection, put it in, and then automate it where it goes out and looks for that threat feed information, as well as adding this file right here. Now, we gather this information completely without an agent being deployed out to any of the endpoints, thus making us a very efficient and lightweight on the endpoint. We also have the ability to pass our information directly off to a SIM. We can pass it off to ArcSight, any of the SIM vendors out there, directly from our console and our solution directly into theirs. This supports also Blue Coat for malware, that you can sandbox the information or the files that you have found so they can be further, forensically investigated or blown up. So with that said, when we automatically gather these hashes, we automatically send them to VirusTotal, where they are processed and scored in just a few seconds and placed back into our console in the respective categories that VirusTotal scored them as. Let's take a look. So when we come over to our results that come in, we can see a lot of different things. Here we can see all the different filters Promisec has made for you. So you can organize and look for specific things and have them categorized. This makes us very efficient and light to get information to our users. In this use case, I'm looking at a specific discovered bad hash on one machine with 2 bad objects there. I have the capability to highlight any of them and then go out and validate them. I can even go ahead and start a forensic analysis where I can dump the master file table for that endpoint and have it stored in a CSV file, where then I can take it into a Encase tool, Autopsy, or whatever forensic tool you have. You have the portability to do that and automate this as well. So I can also take it and do other things as well. In this use case, I'm taking it directly out to VirusTotal to see specifically what engine it failed on. And as you can see, 23 of the 57 engines that VirusTotal hosts found it bad. I can even find ones that it allowed it to go through. Thus, I can take a sample of the malware and send it off to that respective AV vendor. I can also do other things as well. I have the ability to come in here and do forensics, more forensics information, or incident responses. I can even drive down into the endpoint and do further deep analysis by going to it and looking at what's installed on that endpoint. And if I find something that shouldn't be installed, I have the ability to uninstall it. This also includes finding a process that's out there that's not approved or could be a rogue process. I can suppress that process, begin incident response, and or remediation. Here you can see in here we can do a variety of things as well. I even have the ability to pass it off to launching the Blue Code Analytics, the malware analytics engine on that endpoint. I can pass the information directly over to it so we can take a look of what's going on there. Here, just very quickly logging into it, and I can take a look and see if there's any traffic being broadcast from that piece of discovered as we detected that information on that endpoint. Then we can do further analysis deep down, and we can see there was no information has been compromised, or it's not transmitting information to, let's say, a ununderstood or a foreign network that's not part of your network. We can also do the other tasks as well. We can isolate machines when we find them in there with our user-defined actions. We can go out to those endpoints. I could launch a Microsoft removal tool, which is for incident response, or I could specifically take it offline. So I have the ability to do different things on these machines with our user-defined actions. And of course, we can automate these things. There's other categories out there that you can look at and find and utilize. So you have quite a few capabilities that you can find with our tool out there. So detect and then run incident response, and then specifically pass it over in the Echo community as well. We can even isolate these machines by taking them offline. So I have the ability to go out to that remote endpoint, reboot it, shut it off, or isolate it from the network. Depends on what your incident response plan is. We can adapt to it. We have automation that allows you to do other things as well. This becomes very important when patching. We have the ability to deploy any patch out there very simply by importing in the executable or the installer files into our repository. We can patch endpoints that have been missed for some reason. This also includes the forensic side of the fence as well. I have the ability to go in there and do more other actions that are out there. We've predefined quite a few of them for you. So with that, we can come into our automation module. When something comes into our console as being out of compliant, we can then go in there and do it. We also do comprehensive reporting. Promisec does a very good job in the fact that we can use our executive detail report and bring everything into a report that can be automated and emailed to key stakeholders in the enterprise. We also link with other vendors out there to help them as well. Here in this use case, we're taking our data from our console, putting it into Splunk, where they have a single pane of glass to look at. Promisec offers many versatilities to our customer base. I would like to take this time and thank you for listening. Please feel free to contact Promisec at sales@promisec.com or support@promisec.com. Thank you.